Dory, would you come up and read our land acknowledgement?
As we sit in this beautiful chapel, we acknowledge that this chapel sits in Nabnaket of Noite, on the unceded land of the people of the First Light, the Wampanoag people. We recognize that they lived here and cared for this land over countless generations before the land was taken from them. We acknowledge the painful history of genocide and forced removal from this territory. And we honor and respect the resilience of the Wampanoag people who still are connected to this land on which we gather. We strive to be good neighbors, and we strive to be the stewards of this land and all its creatures.
Oh, we'll have that moment, yeah. Yes, don't worry. There was a section that was left off the program, so that's the confusion this morning. I'm going to now provide some welcoming words and offer a time for announcements. I do have to say I left my notes on the coffee table, so I'm going to be winging it. We'll see how good I am at this. I am Mary Jane Aldrich Moody. It's my delight to be here today and to acknowledge all the people that made this service happen. In particular, we had Karen Sankey, Doris Troy, and Judy Crawford, who did all the preliminary bits to get us to our seats. I also want to acknowledge Rita Brown, our president, and the person who took this service and ran with it and put it all together, and we appreciate her efforts. Now is the time when I would like to bring around the mic and have anybody announce who they are, if they're new or returning after some time to our chapel, and if they'd like to just share a couple of words about themselves. We'd like to chit-chat with you after the service. Do we have anyone? Do we have anyone on Zoom? Okay, then we'll move on. Quick, very important practical announcement. If you need to use the restroom, it's up the ramp and to the right. We will now have opening words and chalice lighting.
Some 20 years ago, exactly 20 years ago actually, Sarah Shepard put Rita Brown and myself together, and she said, I think this church needs to be a welcoming congregation, and I think you're the two people to do it. Those of you who know Sarah know that was going to happen. So that was the beginning of the work to do the original welcoming congregation training, which led to, after a year, a vote to become a welcoming congregation. And it also led to a very strong friendship that was started by Sarah, and Rita and I are both grateful for that. I'd like to ask all of you to join in the reading of the welcoming congregation affirmation. This was actually adopted in September of 2004, and it was reaffirmed on January 21st, 2018. So it's had a lot of thought and a lot of people looking at it, and it's holding up very, very well from the beginning. So please join me in saying, we, as a welcoming congregation, have chosen through our words, our actions, and the way we engage our spirit to fully open our doors and our hearts to the extraordinary richness and diversity of human life. We affirm the inherent worth and dignity of every person. We honor the differences among us, whether due to race, color, gender identification, sexual orientation, family status, age, mental or physical ability, class, national origin, or other bases for discrimination, without requiring adherence to any given interpretation of religion or to any specific religious belief or creed. We celebrate our sense of community and the values that we share together, having affirmed this commitment. Christine will light our chalice in honor of being, for 20 years, being a welcoming congregation. Thank you.
And now I said we were going to get to announcements, and we have a very important announcement about an effort that we are engaged in right now as a whole congregation. So Karen, would you come up and share, please?
Yeah, this is important this Sunday because our major fundraiser for the whole year begins this Friday, believe it or not. It's our online auction, as I'm sure you're all aware, and I just want you to know we haven't had as many items or experiences or gift certificates donated as in past years, so I'm getting a little nervous about it. So if you have something that has been given to you that you don't really need or want, but someone else might pay money for, or if you know a business that you feel comfortable asking for a donation of a gift certificate, this is the time to do it. And please let me know, email me a description of the items by Wednesday, as well as the minimum bid, or actually the value, not the minimum bid, but the value of the item. And we need a photograph of the item, or if it's a place of business, Ann can get a logo off the website usually. The photos go to Ann. And there are little cards in the back on the table on the right as you leave that have a QR code so that you can there are a few of them to hand out to anyone that might be interested in bidding as well as donating. And in case you didn't see your email, there are some extra copies of suggestions of items that could be donated. And I think that's it. Sue has a thought.
Yes, I have to say this, I'm so happy. So I'm leaving soon, can you hear me? Can everybody hear that?
No.
Come on up here. Come on up here.
While she's coming, I just want to acknowledge Liz Lokes, who brought refreshments today and somehow got omitted.
You know, I'm holding in my hand, I'm holding in my hand a small miracle, and I myself am a miracle, because I don't like to ask for money, and I also think churches are really going to give to a church? You know, is it like being political? So I decided to go to every one of my favorite stores on Circuit Avenue the other day. Unfortunately, I bought something in each place too, but that shows I really like them. And I know them, and and for the first time in my life, businesses became my friends. I realized these are our friends. They love us because we're here all year long. They really love what we bring to them. I have already 5 gifts ranging from $15 to $100. I'm going back for some more today, even the reluctant ones. because I'm getting brave. So I just want to give you this idea and this encouragement because I feel transformed right now. I actually love the business community, and they're all saying yes, or if not, they're kind of embarrassed they're not saying yes. I like that too. So anyway, just thought I'd pass that along as a little boost because I was getting concerned too. And they all know you, Rita, by the way.
I'm just gonna add quickly. Karen said we'd like to vet all the items in by Wednesday. If you're working on something, we can add throughout the auction new items. So, keep them coming, and thanks to everybody who's already donated or gotten some donations. We appreciate it.
So you hang on here a second. Because although Sarah Shepard knows everybody and everything, you're the one they know in the business world. Oh, her, Rita? And then they start telling me your credentials. They start with being a business person, and then they end up being a dog groomer and all kind of things. So you're awesome for us, too. Use her name.
Okay, we're going to switch gears now and share a story about a teddy bear. And in this case, the picture book is titled Introducing Teddy, but I really think it should be Introducing Tilly. And listen and see what you think as I read. On the cover, the teddy is wearing a bow tie and looking in the mirror. And in the mirror, the bow tie is not under the chin, it's in the hair at the top of the head. Earl and Thomas the teddy play together every day. They ride their bike in the backyard. They plant vegetables in the garden. They have sandwiches for lunch in the treehouse. And they have tea parties inside when it's raining. Maybe they even bid on the auction. One day, Earl woke to find the sun shining through his bedroom window. Hooray, he shouted. Come on, Thomas, let's go to the park and play. Thomas the teddy didn't feel like playing. You seem sad today, Thomas, said Earl. Don't worry, the park will cheer you up. Thomas the teddy wasn't so sure. Oh no, even the swing isn't working. What's wrong, Thomas? Talk to me. If I tell you, said Thomas, you might not be my friend anymore. I will always be your friend, Thomas. Thomas the teddy took a deep breath. I need to be myself, Earl. In my heart, I've always known that I'm a girl teddy, not a boy teddy. I wish my name was Tilly, not Thomas. Is that why you've been so sad? Earl asked. I don't care if you're a girl teddy or a boy teddy. What matters is that you are my friend. You're the best friend a bear could have, said Tilly. Earl and Tilly the teddy play together every day. They ride their bike in the backyard. They plant vegetables in the garden. They have sandwiches for lunch in the treehouse. And they have tea parties inside when it's raining. And that's Tilly, a self-portrait.
I've just been informed that we are going to share, so, all right. We're doing a reading, and it's called Come In and Be Amongst Us. To all who are yearning for community.
Come in, be among us.
To all who are just getting started. to all who long to go deeper, to all with tender places needing care,
Come in, be among us.
to the ones who have healed and have care to give, for those who are curious and hungry to learn, for those who know they have something to teach.
Come in, be among us.
For the ones who are just beginning to suspect they might nurture others becoming, to the young and the old, the innocent and the jaded, the fresh of mind and the deeply steeped, there is room here for each and every one.
Come in, be among us. I'm going to read a poem that's from a book called Lady Death and Other Poems Venerating Change. It's by Keith Silva, who is a transgender herbalist, massage therapist, medium, and writer, originally from Oregon. It's called Thank You, My Allies. When you call me by the name and pronouns I adore, you give me a gentle, warm hug, a hand up, a healing balm, a bright smile in the dark, a heart-opening wink, a bouquet of sunflowers, a yarrow blossom circle of protection, a tender rose of sweetness, years on my life, a burst of energy, the ability to focus, a nourishing sense of safety and belonging, a happy memory, a warm cup of lemon balm love. When you call me by the name and pronouns I adore, you give me wellness, welcome, and home. Thank you.
Let's see how this is. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you're all very good at that. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, everybody up on Zoom. We're happy to see you all here today. I want to thank the people that have helped create this service as we center lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, queer, questioning, plus people. Henceforth, in my remarks, will be called LGBTQ+. So thank you all. Appreciate the readings and being with us, and all of you being with us today. Our LGBT plus community celebrates Pride in the month of June. It's important to us because it brings visibility and affirmation after generations that it was lacking. It commemorates the Stonewall riots or rebellions in New York City, the end of June 1969. The riots went on for several days, led primarily by gay men, transgender women of color, and drag queens, who proudly came out and demanded that violence by the police stop for our community. The Stonewall riots are thought to be a tipping point for the civil rights of LGBTQ plus people. So fast forward 35 years. In 2004, same-sex marriage became legal in the state of Massachusetts, something many of us my age and older never thought we'd ever see. Also in that year, we began the work to be a welcoming congregation, and as Judy said, we're celebrating that today. And we appreciate everybody celebrating it with us. Judy mentioned that our president back in 2024 was Sarah Shepard, and also our minister, Judy Campbell, Reverend Judy Campbell, was on a mission to become a welcoming congregation. About 30 members of the congregation, 35, came in and out of the workshops we did. Many of the people who took part in it still talk about it today. And I do appreciate the enduring friendship I had the opportunity to create. So in that year, the UUA, the Unitarian Universalist Association, officially recognized us as a congregation who was intentionally welcoming and inclusive of all people, all sexual orientations, and gender identities. It's important for you to know that the Progress Pride flag that flies in front of this building says to LGBTQ people, Black people, brown people, and people of color, you're welcome here. It's safe to be here. This church expects all of us to hold this sacred space as welcoming and safe. This is our promise to one another and to our community. Our mission calls for us to be intentionally welcoming. How do we live that mission? For me, part of my spiritual practice is to intentionally welcome you on Sunday mornings. Those of you I've known for a long time, and those who I'm just getting to know. It fills my heart on Sunday morning to see your smile. Can all of us be intentionally welcoming? Decide how you will extend your hand of friendship and make it a habit. It's simple and yet profound. We all want to be seen. We want to feel part of this place in this time together on Sunday mornings. We want to matter to one another. We want to not just be welcomed, we want to feel welcome. We all yearn to be seen and to be held in our whole being. We are Black, brown, white, multiracial. We are young, old, middle-aged. I better put that in there. Middle-aged, old, and aging, sometimes gracefully, sometimes not. I identify as a lesbian, but please don't define me in that box, because I am much more than my sexual orientation. I identify as female, lesbian, white, Unitarian Universalist, aging, sort of. I have a rather severe hearing disability. All of these individual parts intersect to define the whole package of who I am and who you are. I invite you to crack open your heart just a bit at first, wider as you can trust your heart to us. We give you these gifts. The gift of feeling welcome, the gift of belonging, the gift of compassion and empathy, the gift of friendship, the gift of love, the gift of embracing you in your full humanity. So will you choose to rip open your gifts and embrace your place among us? Or will you choose to open each gift carefully? Taking the Scotch tape, didn't know this was a prop, but it works. Taking the Scotch tape off so it doesn't ruin the wrapping paper. Fold it so you can reuse it, and then step among us, opening your gifts one at a time. There's one thing that I will guarantee you. You will get back as much or more than the gifts you give. We will hold the space for you You will always be welcome here on your terms, on your terms. Our future is up to you and me. Will we trust the wisdom in each of us? Will we truly listen to one another's stories that we hold so deep in our hearts? Will we delight in seeing the goodness in one another? Will we see our reflection in one another's eyes? Will we offer curiosity instead of seeking our own way? Will we set aside the need to be perfect so we can create a culture that allows us to make mistakes and stay in relationship with one another? For Unitarian and Universalist welcoming congregations, love is at the center of who we are individually and collectively. Love creates a circle around our shared values, binding us to one another, while leaving our circle open for new people to enter, rejoice, and come in. Join us as we live our UU love amongst ourselves and out in the world, a world that desperately needs us.